Hello, my name is Hal Fields. This is a brief demonstration of my Sinatra app. And what I've done is I have made an app that is kind of a clearinghouse for running events in the uh, basically the Kansas City area, the Missouri Kansas area. So this is my root page. This is what my app opens up to. It's a welcoming page. It says this site lists races in the Missouri-Kansas area. It is not intended to be exhaustive, but we will list any races that the event organizers report to us. And I was figuring I'd have two types of users, just a regular old racer that wants to look up the available races in the area. And this person would not need to log in to do that. He could just come to my page and go to the index and look up the list of race events. And if he finds one that uh, he has interest in, then he could go to the show page for that particular race. And he does that by clicking on this link here. And by the way, the other type of user would be an organizer, an event organizer. And these people would have to log in, and they actually create pages on here, and the pages they create would be kind of monitored and regulated. So they need to sign up. They can sign up here, and then they can log in here. So I'm just going to demonstrate what a regular runner would do. He'd go here and click on this link, and that'll take him to the uh, index page, list of all the racing events in the Missouri Kansas area. And I've seeded this for demonstration purposes. I've got 5 events, and just to keep it simple, I've named them Event 1, Event 2, Event 3, Event 4, and Event 5. And on the index page, I figure the only thing they will be interested in for purposes of decision making would be the event date. That will probably mainly determine whether they'll want to run an event or not. So those are the only two pieces of information I have on the uh, index page: event name and event date. So say an runner wants to check out this event here, he can click on it. He or she can click on it, and this takes him to a show page where I have all the available information uh, about that event here. Uh, it shows the event name. It's called Event 2. The date, uh, December 1st, 2018. Starting time, which I didn't include on this seed data. Contact information would be an email address that the event organizer could put in. And if there's a website URL that the event has, then he would include that, and it would go right here. And I have I'll show you later, but I have a drop down selection box menu that can pick, I think, one of 6 different types of events. So in this particular example, uh, we're running a 5K and a half marathon. And up at the top are some different links that can take him. The home page just takes them back to that welcome page. If you go click on all events, that just takes you back to the index. Okay, and let me get back to an event. Uh, then you can click on event organizers, or if you are an organizer, you can log out. So uh, If you click on event organizers, there's my seed data just has 3 event organizers, uh, Hal, Iris, and Jess, and with their emails. So you can click on one just to see what events they're sponsoring. You know, and in a real example, this would be maybe a running club that you have. Uh, you like the events that they sponsor, so you know, it wouldn't be just an individual person like Hal, but it would be like the Lee Summit Running Club, for instance, and they have an event 1 on November 1st, and they have event 3 on January 1st. So, okay, that is that. Let's go back and see what an event organizer would do. They could sign up here at the sign up page. And I'll just create an event organizer here. I'll use my son. Luke. Okay, and whoops, why didn't that take? And let's just call Luke at gmail.com for an email. They need a name, an email, and a password. Pass 4. And sign up. So Luke is now signed up. Okay, and this takes you to the new page where you can create an event, uh, and so uh, let's call the event Wowie, and it's on January. Or let's do it like this. I'm using HTML5 stuff here. We're going to go to January 2019, and we're going to, let's just say January 12th. Event location, sure, why not? 18th and Vine District. Start time, let's make it 7:30. AM. Okay, I'm not going to bother to fill in the rest. Okay, there's a message you can leave if there's any particular thing you want to leave, like maybe if it's for charity, you could include that in a message. But that's just a string, message string that I put in there. Now, here's my selection selection check boxes for the 6 different kinds of races we have. And say you want to do a half marathon and a marathon. Okay, and then go ahead and submit it. And this will take you to it creates a show page. Oh, no. Okay. Uh, it goes to the index. It goes to the index, and there it is right there. Wowee! And the event is on January 12th, 2019. And let's look at that. And there you go. And basically, when I want to log out, I can just log out here. And I'm logged out. And I've got it set up so that when you log in as an event organizer, uh, the only events that you can edit. Oh, I didn't show the edit page. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to log back in as Hal Fields. No, I'm going to log back in as my son. Now I'll show you something interesting here. Okay, and password is PASS 4. Log in. So we're going to edit that event we just created. I click on it. By the way, you could list a new event here if you wanted to, but we're just going to edit this old event. And just for grins, I want to show you, then this takes you to the show page, but for the organizer only, for the organizer of this particular event only, it adds a link called edit event. So we can go to the edit page for that event. And I'm going to, I just want to show you a feature here. If the date of the event is earlier than today's date, for instance, today's date, say, is October 11th, and I put in a date of, uh, this for right now it's set up for January 12th, but say I want to take it back to earlier than today's date. Say I want to take it back to October 6th. Okay. I have some uh, logic in my uh, controllers that will eliminate anything that is stale from my database, anything that is older than today's date, so that old stuff that you can't run in, it's older than today's date, is eliminated from my database. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to go back to my uh, my index page, and I'm going to look for the event named Wowee, and I shouldn't find it there because it's got a stale date. So save changes, and when you do that, it takes you. Hmm. Let's look at. Okay. It has eliminated it uh, from my index page, but I've got a glitch in here because I wanted to eliminate it from my database, not just my index page, and I thought I had set that up, but apparently that's something I'll have to refactor. So uh, let me actually see. Okay, I'm gonna go. That was Luke's. That was an example of Luke's event. Let me see if it is in there. Let me go. Okay, okay. So it did eliminate from the database. It hadn't had a chance to refresh this page when I went there first time. So it is no longer in the database, and I have a message that shows up that when you don't have any events, it says you have no events listed with us. So that basically is the uh, the application in a nutshell. Thanks a lot.